Hi. Let's see, I was drafted in '68. I went to Vietnam in '69, '70. I was in a unit, 1st Air Cavalry Division, the 5th Battalion of the 7th Cavalry. That's Colonel Custer's brigade, by the way. And I was in Charlie Company, 1st Platoon, 1st Squad, B Fire Team, Rifleman. And 30 combat assaults from a helicopter, wounded twice. And there were a couple of interesting stories. I think the first one would be, everybody has to walk point. And when I was walking point, I had a new guy behind me. And one of the jobs is search and destroy. We're looking for Charlie's home, bunker complexes. And we came across this hole in the ground. And it was an unusual hole because it looked like a cookie cutter made it. And we crawled up to it, and I couldn't see in it, and the guy behind me wanted to frag it. And I said, wait a minute, let's take a look down here and make sure what we're dealing with. And I asked for a flashlight, and it got passed up. We looked down, and sure enough, we see the tail fin of a 2,000-pound bomb that hadn't gone off. And of course, if we had thrown a grenade down there, the whole company would have been wiped out. And I think another interesting story is we had just made a combat assault, and 3rd Platoon had the wood line. And when we came down, they had movement, and they wanted to be reinforced. So they asked our platoon to send one squad over to back them up. And it was a very large area, and we were afraid Charlie was monitoring the radios because we used standard FM radio. So to signal back, we wanted to use a smoke grenade. And the sergeant told me it was my turn to use a smoke grenade. Well, my smoke grenade was on the bottom of my pack. So I had to stop and unload my pack, give him the smoke grenade, and put my pack back in. And it's taking so long, the sergeant's ready to shoot me. Everybody's looking at me and waiting. And meanwhile, the 3rd Platoon was getting so nervous that they decided to call in air support. They felt they were going to be overrun. So we always have 2 Cobras overhead for backup until the assault's complete. And they decided on red smoke in front of them to be the signal for where the rockets should go. And unbeknownst to them, at the exact same time, the colonel decided to land. And of course, they threw a red smoke for the colonel right behind him to land his ship. And the Cobra saw the wrong red smoke and emptied about a dozen rockets into the 3rd Platoon, killing and wounding most of them. And of course, I had put my pack deck together, and we had just started off to reinforce them. And we saw everything happen in front of us. We couldn't believe what we just saw. And about the same time, everybody turned to me and realized if I had that smoke grenade on my belt instead of the bottom of my pack, we would have been over there in the middle of it all. It's one of those very close calls. And then I remember my first day in country. We were at Quan Loy, forward LZ, and I was given the position to use a 50 caliber machine gun on the wire. And we were attacked. And I'm shooting the gun, and I used up all the ammunition. And I bend over to get some more ammo, and there was a brand new kid next to me, and he immediately starts yelling, "He's been hit! He's been hit!" You know, and he keeps grabbing me, and I'm trying to get the ammunition. And I'm saying, "Let go! I'm all right." And I just want to reload the gun. And finally, a guy, it turned out he was in the Green Beret. He came over and he calmed this guy down so I could reload the gun. And then he told me something interesting. He says, "Every shot you've shot is missed. You're shooting too high." And he showed me how to use the gun properly. And definitely an eye-opening experience.